All right. What's up, duelists? Part two of the what is it? A YRS51. We've got part two. We got losers finals, which is Nod L versus Indicate, and then the winner of this plays off against Jaina in winners. Not winners, sorry. Grands. Jaina's in winner side grands. So, pretty exciting matches. We know Indicate is playing agents. His build is really bad. He sent me his build in between the rounds, and it's just shockingly bad. There's like only one Christia, triple Shine Ball, triple Typhoon, like horribly bricky, just a really bad build in general. And I don't know what Nod L is playing, but I know it includes Tour Guide and Cyber Dragon push board. So maybe Chaos, maybe not. Here's a Tour Guide activation. No hand trap from Indicate. So just going to be able to get Sangan here, and you can either crash the Sangan with the Earth, get a search, or you could make Leviathan. I think I like Crash Sangan a little bit better. It lets you search for a hand trap to stop the Venus you know is coming. Plus you can get into 1,000 points of damage, so should be pretty good. Pretty good play. And it looks like that's what Nod L likes as well. Does get a agent in the grave. Sorry guys, I'm just eating a cashew real quick. Your boy was hungry in between rounds. We got Agent of Mystery Earth going to the grave. Sangan is going to search. See if it grabs Valor or Max. You might grab Max, but I don't know. Depends. Maybe you need a light for BLS. We'll see. Not L definitely thinking things through. In the previous video, there was a ton of dueling book lag. Hopefully that's not the case now. Looks like he's going to go with Max C instead of Valor. Which, I don't know if that could really come back to bite him. I think just getting those draws is pretty big. I don't think there's anything Indicate can really do about it other than just force it. Yeah, pretty much. I sent Indicate a build of agents in between this round, which I'm going to be doing some videos with in the future that actually doesn't play into Max C at all, which is kind of cool. I don't like that. I don't like that play. I actually think that that's a very bad play from Nod L, because now Master Hyperion fucks you. Your Max C is actually dead. That's a very bad Solemn Warning play. That's probably one of the worst Solemn Warning plays I've seen in this format ever. You never Solemn Warning the Agent of Venus here. Or Agent of Creation Venus here. Just because, like, now, okay, banish Hyperion. Now you have a dead Max C. I know you have 4 cards. I get to run over the Tour Guide. And that's it. Like, you didn't search a Valor. You don't have a light in your grave. What are you going to do? And now you're at fucking however many life points, and you're staring down a Master Hyperion. So I actually think that this play is very, very, very bad from Nod L. One of very, very, generally speaking, trash play. The only reason it wouldn't be trash is if he had, like, a Trag that he really wants to stick. If he has Trag Valor or something. It's so bad. I don't understand why you would make that play. I think you just always hold the warning. I think you just let that happen. You chain Maxi, obviously, but then you let it happen. If they go for Gotchi, you can warning that later if you really want to. This is stupid. This is, I guess he doesn't really have a better way to convert, but yeah, I mean, Venus trading with warning is like, if you're an agent player, you're very happy about that. You usually don't care about Gotchi that much. Also, if you're playing against agents and you're playing these Tour Guide Chaos builds, you don't give a shit about Gotchi. You just Chaos Sorcerer banish it later. It doesn't matter. You can let it happen. You get 3 draws out of a Gotchi. That's a trade you'll take any day of the week. You have better cards to convert off of than your opponent. We'll see if Indicate wants to get the Shine Balls out of the graveyard now, or if he was just trying to get the Max C out of the hand. I think he's just trying to get the Max C out of the hand. Venus can attack here. Does play into Trag. I don't know if Indicate plays the Herald of Orange Light, so I don't think there's a better time to wait for the Monster Reborn. You're not under a ton of pressure, but I think you need to force the Max C if you don't play Herald of Orange Light at this moment. That's actually why I really hate this Venus Shine Ball build, is not only are you playing the 3 break Shine Balls, but you're playing, like, into the most commonly played shit, which is Valor Maxi very heavily. Junk Synchron's going to activate. No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. It's going to bring back Maxi. Okay, so he's playing Junk Synchro. This could make Catastor. Yep, looks like it's making Catastor. That's also 3 Darks in Naudel's graveyard. So if he has Dark Arm Dragon, it is now live. I guess we'll see if that exists. Catastor's going to beat the Venus through something like Honest. And it's actually pretty good against this here Agent deck. I actually think that Naudel with the Solemn Warning, like imagine if he had a Solemn Warning here and his opponent had just like the Zero Material Gotchi and the Agent of Creation Venus, like game's ending. You have Solemn Warning for anything that stops the Catastor, and then you have Catastor to beat everything else. So I think using the warning there is actually pretty bad. I think you should have just held it for the card that matters, which is Hyperion, of course. Hyperion is a card that's killing you. Not Venus, not Gotchi Gotchi, especially because you have Max C to capitalize off of your opponent, utilizing their Venus effect. Here's Mind Control. That is one of the few outs that the Fairy deck does play for Ally of Justice Catastor. I believe it's only Mind Control and, like, of course, Hyperion and Trag to some degree. This is a ton of damage. I think if Indicid plays the Ancient Sacred Wyvern, it's pretty close to game. He should be playing it. I mean, it's standard in every extra deck. Yep, there it is. Okay. So this is either going to eat a Valor, or it's going to deal like fucking 6,000 damage. Or it's going to be games, because he has the Hyperion as well. So, yeah. Okay. Insane. Insane turn. Again, that Solemn Warning, I didn't think it was very good. He could have Solemn Warning the Ancient Sacred Wyvern, and then opponent has a Hyperion, but you're still at 5,300, and you're still chilling. You just use the warning in a better way. I think that was just a terrible play from Naudel, and it obviously cost him the game there. These types of faster formats, when people are like spamming boss monsters, and there's not really many effective one-for-one outs that don't cost you tons of life points, if you make one little mistake, you're going to lose the game because of it. And that's exactly what happened to Naudel there. He made one pretty catastrophic mistake and lost the game immediately. What else? What else have we got in this sideboard? He saw the Junk Synchron, so now he knows how to side. If he's got DD Crows, he can bring him in. If he's got other stuff, he can bring it in. I think this matchup in general is just like favored for the Agent deck. They really like playing against these Synchro decks because their like payoff spells don't play into max, like, and they can play into warning really effectively. Like you saw that turn, how his opponent fucked up with the warning and then just lost. That's pretty much it. If your opponent fucks up their Solemns, like you kill them for it because Hyperion is disgusting. But if the opponent doesn't fuck up the warning, then the Threat Light Agent deck that Indicid is playing right now can actually be pretty bad. And you're also in this weird situation where you're like, do you leave in your Typhoons? Because they could potentially be dead in this matchup. Like, there's a chance that Naudel just sides out his warnings because he's playing against Agents. Warning is pretty bad against Agents to begin with. So, like, he just has all chainables game 2 and 3. The Typhoons are kind of dead. It's like this weird sort of, like, awkward zone, you know? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Naudel starting the game off with a Thunder King. This card is really good against Agents. It stops all the things. Especially if you have a hand trap for the Venus. Looks like Indicid has nothing. Looks like he's just dead this game, so. We'll see if there's a Trag in Naudel's future. Trag could be here for sure. Especially given the way this is played. Yep. Typhoon on the attack and then a Trag. Makes the most sense. Chain Book of Moon. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to play into a Trag, so I get that. Especially if you have another way to protect your Thunder King, then you should be good. It is just a little awkward that you'll have to, you know, lose your Thunder King out to an Agent Earth if you don't have like a Solemn Warning or something. Maybe you just let it happen there, but then you give them Trag. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I think maybe getting in the damage might have been more important than... But I don't know, because Trag could steal the Thunder King. It's not likely, because there's not a lot of level 4s in the Agent deck, but it could steal the Thunder King. You could also just not attack there if you're not L. Like, if you lose to Typhoon Trag, then you should not attack. Because the only back row that deck plays is Typhoon Trag. Alright. Here's the Agent of Creation Venus, and there's no trap or hand traps from not L, so that's just going to be the game. Pretty much. No. Let's him go one Shine Ball. I don't get that. Just failure the first one. Yeah, that's just bad. Unless you're trying to bait him into attacking with the Shine Ball, but Indicator will just be smart and not attack. So, yeah, that's a bad play from his opponent. I think you don't let them get the Shine Ball at all. You Valor it for sure on the first one. It's also a big tell on what's in your hand. I don't like that. I think it's bad. Misusing his trap cards a couple of different ways this game. He's going to be able to Junk Synchron back the Valor. Oh, but that plays into Maxi. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do, right? This is kind of tough. Because now what? Junk Synchron attacks over Shine Ball? I guess. But then Indica just makes Gachi Gachi next turn? I don't know. I think this has been a tricky one for the opponent. There's Max C. Okay, so Max C was the draw from not L. Interesting. Junk Synchron getting summoned is like, maybe there's an enemy controller involved here. If I'm Indicid, I am definitely considering just going for the second Shine Ball as well. Or the third one. But maybe not. If it's in his hand, you don't do it, I don't think. What's in the grave? If Indicid was playing 2 Christia like he fucking should be, then he'd have a higher chance of just having a Christia here and ending the game immediately. But he's not, so here we are. Alright, checking his graveyard. Realizing that he has no further plays. He could just take the value. He could just go Venus over Junk Synchron and Shine Ball over Valor and take the +1. Which, honestly, isn't bad. It isn't bad at all. I don't think you should risk giving your opponent too many options. The only issue from this standpoint is Blackluster Soldier. Okay, normal summon Sangin. You're still dead to Blackluster Soldier, I believe. Right? I believe you're dead to Blackluster Soldier. Sangin's gonna crash. Okay. Gonna go find himself a piece of interaction, potentially Max C, potentially Valor, potentially Herald of Orange Light. You're just gonna grab Max C. I don't know about that one, because you have to drop it in draw phase to not die to Blackluster Soldier unless you have specifically Honest. If you have Honest, you could, or if you have Sangin, you could search for Honest too, actually, which wouldn't be too bad. To play around BLS. So it leads me to believe Indicid actually has Honest in his hand. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. He actually has Honest. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because otherwise you take what, 24? No, 14, and then 25. So you take 39 to BLS, and any other summon kills you. So I think that you either have to search Honest, or you have to gun Maxi if you don't have Honest. So that means that he definitely has honest in hand. Once you've deferred that information or figured out that information, you can basically say, okay, he doesn't have honest, or he does have honest. I need to play a certain way to play around honest. If you have BLS, maybe you summon it in defense. Probably not, but maybe. And then you banish the Agent of Venus instead of attacking. I think that's probably the best line. Alternatively, you just have Chaos Sorcerer. Okay, here's Tour Guide. I mean, if that's your only play, then that's your only play, but if you have Chaos Monsters, you should summon them first before summoning the Tour Guide. That way you don't give them a chance to max before your Chaos Monster hits play. This is going to grab Sangan. Looks like a defensive Tour Guide. Interesting. Searching Maxi is also questionable if you don't want to draw into the third Shine Ball. But I get why you might want to do it. I think it's a little worse than getting Valor or Honest if you don't already have it. But again, I think that given the position that Indicud is in, I believe he actually does have Honest in his hand. That's something that makes sense to me. 2 fairies in the grave. Neither of them are agents. Indicud's going to draw for turn. What is happening here? Big thonk. I mean, the Venus can just run over the Tour Guide if he wants to. He doesn't really have to play that much. He can play kind of slower. He could grab the third Shine Ball if he wants to go that low. I don't think there's a measurable difference. I guess 4,400 puts you dead to BLS with just Venus in play, but... Okay. Gonna attack Tour Guide. Go main 2. What is happening here? What is happening? Normal summon Shine Ball, creature swap. Wow, that is bad. I guess you can make something like a Leviathan here. I just feel like that's bad in general. Guarantees the agent hits the graveyard for Hyperion, though. So, there's that. But now the card advantage is evened up. And I think the Chaos deck does better with more card advantage. Or the Junk Synchron deck does better with more card advantage. Also, he hasn't really pressured the life points at all. Here's a normal summon Gen X Ally Birdman. Interesting. So this is kind of like a Junk Synchro rank 3 spam deck. Makes sense. It's going to make Catastor. Catastor can clear the Leviathan Dragon, and that's it. That's it, you know. Just straight up 1-for-1 trade. Trades the Birdman or levels up the Birdman and the Shine Ball into the Catastor, and then runs over the Leviathan. Still kind of at parity, still in that weird like 6 cards. Each player has 6 cards range. But now Nod L has the field advantage with the Ally of Justice Catastor. So Indicud's like, he needs to figure something out. Obviously Hyperion is live, so that's pretty big. But Hyperion into Valor is actually pretty bad. You're going to get 1-for-1 with the Valor because the Catastor can kill it on the way back. Additionally, something like Mind Control, Dark Hole, that kind of stuff could be good here. Creature Swap, another one of those would be not good, but it would function. Cyber Dragon would be pretty good. You could eat the Catastor for free. I'm not really sure. This is some questionable stuff from player known as Indicud. What's happening here in this moment? He's got 6 cards. He could have... I don't think he's playing Herald of Orange Light. I remember he sent me his build in between the rounds. I don't think he's playing Herald of Orange Light, which is honestly bad. I don't know why you would play the fairy deck without Herald of Orange Light. Like, that card's just fucking great. Here's Christia. That doesn't do anything, though, because it still doesn't beat Ally of Justice. Catastor, and actually it makes it very difficult for you to deal with that, because you can't special summon now. And now you're time walking yourself? Huh. I don't fully understand this move. I don't like this from Indicate. If he must have top decked the Christia this turn. Because if he had Christia on the last turns or on the previous turns, he could have tribute summoned it, which would have been insane against this deck. Like, literally, you lock out all the Chaos Monsters, you lock out Junk Synchron, you lock out Tour Guide, you just lock out fucking everything. So I don't know why this is the case. Potentially the back row is something like a Mirror Force, maybe, but I don't see a Book of Moon, maybe? Could be Book of Moon. But if it was Book of Moon, you would have attacked over the Catastor and booked it. So I don't think it's Book of Moon. No, I think Indicate just draw locked himself, which is bad, honestly. So I'll get it. Not L is considering attacking here. He should 1000% attack. The agent decks don't play trap cards. Yep. And there's the draw lock. If he didn't have an out to Catastor last turn, he doesn't have one this turn because, you know, that's just the way it goes. Unless he has a tuner. If he has a tuner, he can normal summon it here with the set monster and make something like Synchro into something that beats Ally of Justice, Catastor. So there's the Venus. That is going to get torrential. Okay. So it does out the Ally of Justice, and now he can special summon the Christia, and the game's going to end, yeah. So that should be that. Okay. So he did end up having a trap card out, too. That. Gonna Valor the Christia, but you just pass here if you're into kid. No reason to attack, playing a Gorge or Trag, and be an idiot about things. You just pass. If they out the Christia, it goes back to the top. You still have 4 fairies. You're totally fine. You can also set a monster if you're really scared, but no need to do that. Yeah, pretty much. I think Indicate should be taking this match here in a second. Wow. The opponent is confused as to why Effect Valor negated Christia. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, because now he can summon the Hyperion and he can pass. I don't know if I like attacking. I guess you just attack with Hyperion, it's okay? Yeah, it's free if you just attack with Hyperion. Okay, so 2,700 here. And if they don't drop Gores here, then you pass. You don't attack with Christia. There's no reason to. It's too greedy. It's just too greedy. You win the game next turn anyway. You know they have no back row. Okay, I don't like this play. If Not L has Gores, yeah. I don't like this play. You just gave him a chance. Yeah, I don't like this. I really don't like this. This is bad. This was a really big throw. He did not need to attack with Christia. He could have just waited. He honestly didn't even need to attack with the Hyperion, but the Hyperion attack is free. Unless the opponent has Honest. But now it's like... even if they have Honest, actually, because you just attack with the Gores and then pop the token. I guess it's still fine. I mean, Gores crashes with Hyperion, or... maybe there's a Caius. Caius would be the worst case, I think. Yeah, Caius would be worst case scenario, because Caius banished Christia, and then Chaos Monster banished the Hyperion could do it. I think that attack from Indicate was a colossal throw. Very, very bad attack. Because you don't need to do anything. They can't special summon. You know they have no trap cards because they didn't set anything. The most they can do on their next turn is set one monster. You just pop it with Hyperion, you win the game. That's literally it. You just attack with Hyperion, and then the next turn you have a guaranteed victory. So, I think that attack was greedy and bad. Both greedy and bad. If you're seeing this, though, you're probably happy. And based off of how the earlier game was sequenced with the Sangan crash, I could have sworn he had Honest in his hand. Wow. He didn't have Honest and he didn't search it. And he just said, if you have BLS, I lose the game. That's crazy. God, Indicate is terrible. My goodness. That's crazy. And he had no plays at all. 4 cards and no plays. Huh. Indicate gonna move on to Grand Finals against Jaina. See if he can redeem himself after getting fucking destroyed in Winners Finals. Let's go ahead and close out. Go back. TV's been so bugged today. And this is Grand Finals. This is pretty hype. This is actually really, really hype. Jaina is on Hero Beat with Miracle Fusions and Thunder King Raios, and Indicate is on Fairies, but he's playing a really bad list, in my opinion. He only has 1 Christia. He's got a bunch of like really shit cards in his deck, like triple Shine Ball, triple Maxi, triple Veiler, so his matchup game 1 against this deck is going to be very bad, and Jaina's going first on top of all that. This is going to be a very difficult one for Indicate, I believe. I don't think he's going to win this match. And I also don't think he's going to win 2 matches, even if he does manage to somehow steal this match. So, it'll likely be a Jaina sweep. But, we shall see, we shall see. Oh my god. That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. It's like getting dust shooted twice. When you Veiler or Stratos and then they dust shoot you, it's like getting dust shooted twice. Literally. And then, now you have to factor in the Shine Balls, the Maxis, the Veilers, the Typhoons. That's 12 dead cards in Indicate's deck. If he doesn't have an agent, the 3 Hyperions are dead, the Christia is dead. He has like over half his deck is dead cards at this point. Especially if the Trap Dust Shoot takes like the only live card. So, let's see. We got Tour Guide, Econ, MST, Sork, and they're going to return Earth. That has to be a mistake, right? No, that's a mistake. That's a mistake for sure. You return Tour Guide. You return Tour Guide because that cuts off the Sork. I don't get this. I don't know why this is the case. Yeah, this is bad. Like, if he honestly just wanted the Earth, he could just leave the Sangan. Or he could enemy control or tribute it and take the Stratos and search the fucking Earth. If he wanted it that badly, he could do that. So, I don't know. He could also use the enemy controller to run over the Stratos and leave the Sangan in play. I think this is a pretty big mistake from Jaina here, not taking the Tour Guide. The Earth doesn't do anything. Like, he summons Earth, he searches Venus. Who fucking cares? You know what I mean? You have warning for Venus. Presumably, I mean, obviously they're going to Typhoon the warning, but like, if you have any back row for the Venus, you're fine. And the Sorcerer's dead because there's no darks. But here... Oh no, what the fuck? What is he doing? Summon Sorcerer! Dude, Indicate is so fucking bad. Banish the Stratos! Holy shit. What a fucking misplay. That is such a big misplay here. That is such a big misplay. Oh my god. Summon Sork, banish the Stratos, set fucking Econ. Dude, you win the game. Dude. Oh my god. That would have been so huge. That would have been such a good turn. Like, sure, okay, you don't play into Dark Hole specifically. Cool. But, like, come on. Now, oh my god. Now that she gets to Miracle. Dude. Like, sure, Sork can banish the Shining, but if there's a back row, you would have got Sork in under the back row. And now, oh, there's the back row. Yeah, that's lights out. That's the game. Indicud fucking threw this one. Holy shit. He had a chance. Jaina fucked up with the trap does shoot, and then he was like, no. You threw the game? Let me just throw it right back to you. Oh my god, yeah, just play into every back row in the fucking format. Let's just see this. Oh my god, never resolves, never punished. Unbelievable. If that enemy controller is in his hand for the rest of the game, he didn't set it? Dude, why are you not setting the enemy controller? Bruh, why are you summoning Sorcerer in defense against the deck that plays main deck Cyber Dragon? Bruh, what the fuck are you doing? He's switching the position? What? Okay. Tag for 23. Alright. Does he somehow win this game after that? I'm gonna be shocked. If he wins the game after that. What is the back row? It has to be a Gemini Spark or a Hero Blast. It's the only thing that makes sense. I actually really don't like Hero Blast in this format because you're banishing the alias a lot with Shining. Or for the Shining. I don't like it. It's a little bit more conflicty. Alright, sets alias. That's gotta mean Hero Blast, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. Just draw go from Jaina. My goodness. Indicud never punished. If you don't have an out for the Sorcerer, why do you summon the Shining? I don't understand. Here's the bane of this format right here, main deck MST. Never main deck it in this format. This format, it's too volatile to main deck MST. Just side 3. Main the heavy side 3 Typhoons. Especially this hero deck. You don't give a shit about back row. You got Hero Blast, you got Gemini Spark, you got Miracle Fusion, you got Stratos, you got every way in the world to play around back row. Snowman Eater? No. Thunder King. Wow. Insane. Actually insane. This Chaos Sorcerer randomly going the distance. Janus has completely forgot about the Valor Engrave earlier. Yeah, obviously. I mean, obviously when you dust shoot at someone and they have a light engrave, then and you leave them with a dark, that can immediately go into the grave. And yeah, fucking Indicud definitely forgot about it too, because he would have summoned the Sorcerer turn earlier, banished the Stratos, and then you would have had no plays, and you would have lost like 6 turns earlier. So, no, this was a very sloppy game from both players. A lot of mistakes, and not even like understandable mistakes. Why would you attack with Shine? What the fuck attack is that? Oh, I guess Trag. Okay, that makes sense. And then there's the enemy controller for game. Okay, cool. That's lethal. Nice lethal. Okay. Indicud waking up there, last turn of the game, waking up. It's grand finals, they're finally starting to wake up one game into grand finals. Indicud actually stealing it. Jaina, yeah, just catastrophic throw in that first game. And honestly, Indicud tried to throw it back, but Jaina just didn't have the right traps, so that's how it goes sometimes. Typhoon is legitimately terrible in this matchup from Jaina's perspective, too, so she's definitely going to be siding those out. Indicud is potentially going to be siding out. I don't know. Max C is pretty bad. Effect Veiler is pretty bad. Effect Veiler will stop the Stratos, but that's it. It also stops... No, that's it. Just stop Stratos. That's it. So you got to side out a lot of those hand traps that don't do anything. At least if he had the Heralds, he could use Herald to deflect Absolute Zero and the Shining. Their graveyard or out of play effects. He could deflect those that way. But yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Pot of Duality start from Jaina. The best thing you want to see is Pot of Duality. Grabs Rhoda, that's going to get you the Stratos. That's part of the strength of this hero deck, is you get to see 8 cards in your opening hand a lot of the time. 9 if you count the Stratos search as well. Stratos gets summoned. No, Thunder King. Interesting sequencing Wants to shut off the Agent of Mystery Earth as soon as possible. Here's the Typhoon from Indicud. There's a Cyber Dragon, trades with the Thunder King. Now we know there's no Honest, and here's the Agent of Creation Venus. And there's an Effect Veiler from Jaina. That's going to nerf the Agent of Creation. Still going to get in 1600 damage, which is actually good damage here. Stratos gets summoned. Let's see if there's a Solemn Warning. There isn't. Indicud has not revealed Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment in these games so far. He has, however, revealed Torrential Tribute. Does he have Honest? Forbidden Lance. That's a good card. That's a really good card. You should play that over Space Typhoon. That's a really, really good card. That card is nice, actually. Very, very nice. Especially post-board when people bring in Deep Prison and Bottomless against your Agent deck. Forbidden Lance is where you want to be. Very, very nice. Monster Reborn. Interesting. Targets Thunder King. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think you can do better than that. Because this Thunder King is just going to trade with 1,000 life points. Like, you're just spending your Monster Reborn to Meteor of Destruction your opponent. Oh, never mind. I'm capping. There's a skill drain. And now that the Lance and the Typhoon are gone, that skill drain is going to be really good. I love the art on this card. This is like one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh arts. Forbidden Lance. It's one of my favorite cards. Like, not even close. Top 3 coolest cards ever printed. Coolest looking cards. Tough situation for both players. Thunder King can still negate under skill drain, but it's no longer stopping searches. I don't think there's anything that really searches without a monster effect anyway, so Indicud could do something like summon Earth, Synchro into 5, bait that, and then drop Hyperion. But that's not the best. It's not that bad, because Hyperion's stronger than both Absolute Zero and Shining under skill drain. Looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Catastro's going to force the Thunder King Ryo activation. No Hyperion. Okay, so they were just 2-for-1ing into the Thunder King. That's honestly the best Thunder King you could ask for if you're Jaina, and here's a second one, so that's pretty hype. Thunder King doing really well against this Agent deck, especially with skill drain backing it up. Trigodia is a non-problem. This is 3,800 points of damage. Indicud needs to figure something out, or else he is done. D-O-N-E. He is killed. Alright. Looking at his hand before deciding if he wants to concede. Just 2 lone back row and a set monster. What could he mean by this? He's dead. That's what it means. Yeah, Shine Ball. Direct attack. D-Prison, never mind. More trap cards than there may seem in the post-board situations. Playing around his opponent, siding out the Typhoons. I don't think D-Prison is that exceptional in this matchup in general, but it does out Thunder King, which is pretty big. That's exactly what you need it to do. However, you're still locked under skill drain. Your opponent still has quite a few good cards to kill you with. You're down really low in life points, and I think there's going to be not much left from this point. I think these Venus cards are actually quite bad, and the Shine Balls are actually quite bad. I have a build of this deck that doesn't play either of those. I'm going to do some videos with it in the future. I think I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, the Shine Balls and the Venus are the worst part of the deck. Sure, Gachi forces some things. Sure, it can be annoying to deal with, but for the most part, all the good decks in this format are playing Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, Caius, that kind of shit, or they're going to just Veiler you or Max you when you try to Venus. So I think the strength of the Agents deck is how well it plays through Warning, how well it can like compound advantage and like deal the last like 6,000 points of damage. And I think, where's I going with this? I was going somewhere with this. I lost it. Completely lost it. Monster Reborn on Catastro, Chain Max C. Catastro's going to attack the set monster. It is Snowman Eater. Interesting. Main phase 2 Heavy Storm. Smart sequencing. Smart sequencing. Oh, yeah. The Catastro can't be brought back. It can't be brought back. It was negated. Wow. Nice catch. Indie gonna lose that game. Insane. Insane. Insane, 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 insane. Very crazy. Very, very crazy. Indicate said, would have gone Venus and died to Max anyways. And yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you would have died to Max. I mean, that's why Venus is shit. Your deck that's normally insanely good against Max C all of a sudden is bad against Max C. Indicate said, never playing around Max. Yeah, me neither. And that's the issue, is that you can't afford to in the agent deck. So. Indicate gonna go first. Looks like he's got Agent of Creation Venus on the first turn of the game. Is this gonna resolve? Jane is thinking. If you have the fucking stop, you just play it. Like, there's no think here. Yeah, you just play it. It sucks, but you leave them with a 1600 vanilla. At least for a turn. Thunder King here would be really good. That'd be one of the best things. And then Honest would also be really good from Indicate. That'd probably be his best card. The back row could be an enemy controller, a deep prison, or a torrential. Those are the 3 stops we've seen. We've also seen Indicate set Space Typhoons and Heavy Storms. Jaina just passes the fucking turn. What is in your hand, dude? Like, what is in your hand that you would pass the turn there? I don't know. That's pretty crazy. This is big for Indicate. He's going to get his Shine Balls, and then he's going to overlay them into Gachi Gachi at this point in time. Either that, or he might Synchro into Trishula. That's possible, too. Attack with everything, Synchro into Trishula main 2. I like that play. If you go Gachi Gachi, I guess you can't. Okay, there's the third Shine Ball. It was in hand. Yeah, I think you have to attack with everything. Yeah, I don't think you can afford to go Gachi Gachi. A little bit of a miss sequence on the attack. You definitely want to attack with Shine Ball first, I think. No, definitely attack with Earth first. Never mind. If they have Gores, then it's better to attack with Earth first. Does Jaina have Gores? Probably, right? Like, why else would you just pass like this? Yep. Okay. Summon the token in attack. Interesting. Force the Honest with the Venus. Looks like we're going to damage. Gonna use Honest. Indicate's gonna take 1,000, but he can still make an 8-star post board or main phase 2, and then Scrap Dragon is good here. Can pop something if he wants to, or whatever. Normally, I don't like Gores against agents. I don't think it's very good here. I think it's one of those cards you could side out in this matchup because you want to be the aggressor. As a Hero Beat player, you want to be attacking the opponent. You could also make double Gachi, but I don't know. That's not very good. Right? Isn't Scrap Dragon better? I wouldn't know. Cause now, like, if Jaina has Skill Drain, like, you look like an idiot. I guess it's kind of a tell that your back row's Typhoon. You should definitely attack the Gachi Gachi with double Shine Ball under it, not the one with Earth under it. Because you give them an opportunity to detach a better card, if that makes sense. Yeah, pretty much. Like, don't give them the choice. That's what I'm saying. Hyperion here would be big. Jaina's already spent her Honest. She has no back row. I really don't know how she's going to come back into this with no back row and no further plays. Like, what is in her hand? Miracle Fusions? It'd have to be like 3 Miracle and a Gemini Spark or something crazy like that. Getting Sangan in attack is interesting. That means he intends on making an Exceed monster. Okay, Leviathan. It's going to detach Sangan. For sure. And then, is there a BLS? No, just Leviathan with 3100 attack. So, Jaina's going to take 400 here. Gorz is going to die. And this is just going to be tough. I mean, this is a bad situation for Jaina. No other way to put it. Sets potentially Snowman Eater, sets back row. Not a great spot to be in. Gorz against agents, not the best. If they're killing you with Christie on play. So, not the best. There's a Thunder King, that's really big. This could be playing into a Mirror Force. He does need to be a little careful. Thunder King doesn't also really shut off Miracle Fusion. Leviathan's going to attack the set. It is going to be a Fossil Dino. Wow, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Clears 2 of the Gotcha materials and the Leviathan Dragon. So that was actually a pretty good swing for Jaina. I think she needed something like that at this point in time. She might get got by a Heavy Storm here, though. We'll see. We'll see. That Thunder King is still a problem. 2100 attack, too. This is going to attack into Snowman. It's going to pop the Thunder King. Interesting. I wonder how it works if you pop the Gotchi with the Snowman and be destroyed. That's something I'm curious about. It might be. Might not be, actually. Food for thought, huh? There's Agent of Mystery Earth. A lot of back row. Nothing to really get over the Earth. I'm surprised Indica has not been poking with his Gotchis, but I guess he's a little concerned of his own life total at this point. Normal summon the Agent of Creation Venus. Awkward that... What? Solemn Warning here is interesting. I'm just putting him to 4 fairies. What? I guess... Oh no, you put him to 5. Sorry, I miscounted. I didn't see the... Yeah, that makes sense. A little bit. Makes a little bit of sense. If you switch and you swing, I think it's a 2-turn clock, right? It's 17 here and then 7 over there, so it's 24. Yeah, it's a 2-turn clock if you switch both in attack. Or switch all of them in attack. Yep. There's the decree. Here comes the switching of everything. Target scores, and that should be game. Yeah, that should do it. Wow. Looks like we're actually going to get a bracket reset. That's insane. Indicud makes it for the first time in a bracket reset. Jaina says nothing but hero stuff with no hero. Yeah, and that's kind of the issue, right? Like Hero Blast and Miracle Fusion and Gemini Spark and stuff. Like if you don't have a hero, you're not winning. In these newer builds of the deck, I mean, you're lighter on the hero stuff. You don't play Ocean, you don't play whatever. You're playing shit like Snowman Eater. You're playing all these hand traps, and it's just awkward. Venus gets hit with a Veiler, and there's no back row for Indicud, so it's either honest or he's losing the Venus here. Most definitely. And Thunder King is one of the best ways to run this over because it means a follow-up Hyperion isn't going to do shit because you can just negate it with Thunder King. Main phase 2, Future Fusion, that's a great card to have. It'll immediately turn on your Hero Blasts, immediately turn on your Miracle Fusions, and Jaina's just in a great spot here. This is kind of the opening you expect to have going second versus Agents. Here's the Hyperion. This is going to force the Thunder King or the back row. Yep, Thunder King negate. Does Indicud have Herald of Orange Light? If he does, he should use it. He's probably just thinking about what to discard. Wow, no Herald. Just trading his Hyperion and his Agent Engrave for the Thunder King. Maybe there's a tour guide Tour guide would be good. Just Sangan. Dang. I was thinking tour guide would be good. You could bring back the Venus and then make the Gachi Gachi. But as it stands, just Sangan's not gonna be that good. Especially if Jaina has a way to summon another Thunder King. No Thunder King but Stratos. That's gonna run into an effect failure. Stratos is gonna attack Sangan, and now Indicate gets a chance to search his deck. This is gonna grab Tour Guide for sure. No, it's gonna grab the Agent of Mystery Earth. What the fuck? Why would you grab Earth here? You have Mind Control? It's gotta be Mind Control, right? So you can make Brownic or whatever? There's no other reason why you'd grab the Agent of Mystery Earth. If this eats a warning, it's really bad. Okay. No warning. Just gonna be able to grab another Venus. Is this the Mind Control? No, Chaos Sorcerer. Interesting, okay. This is interesting. You can make Scrap Dragon attack. No. On resolution, okay. Hero Blast. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Draw phase, Typhoon the Future Fusion. I don't think there's really a reason to set the Typhoon there and do it in the draw phase. But maybe there's a reason. I don't fucking know. In phase 1, Indicate has the Sorcerer. He has the Sauce. But does he have the second Hyperion? We know he has the Venus, which is big. Venus can make Gachi Gachi. Chaos Sorcerer proving its worth in game 1 of the first match and in this match as well. In this matchup. Seems very good here. That's really good too. That's just really, really good. Tour Guide activates. Jaina either has Maxi or Valor or nothing. Looks like she has nothing. That's going to be tough. This can bring back the Venus or the Effect Valor, and you can make Arcanite, which is really big. Or you could just make Gachi Gachi. I think Gachi Gachi is more damage because it's 31 plus 2k. It's 5100 if they choose to pop the Sorcerer. And an additional 900, so 6,000 if you get the third Shine Ball. You definitely go for Venus if you have some way of clearing this set monster, like a Hyperion or something. Gachi Gachi is an interesting card. It's kind of like an Anthem from Magic. Not much like that in Edison format, but it does have a lot of application here in this format. So far, we haven't really seen any like super technical play from either player. It's just been, these are the cards that I have. I'm going to activate them and hope they get there, which is fine, I guess. Feels like there's a lot of that in this format. Just, you know, I opened broken, so I win. And you didn't have a hand trap. Like this situation where you're resolving Levier and resolving Venus and resolving Chaos Sorcerer and your opponent just doesn't have the cards to deal with it. It's really, really silly. For sure silly. Okay, there's the Venus. Venus is going to activate, bring out some Shine Balls. If you make Gachi and attack, and you run over the set with Venus, they pop Sorcerer, you miss damage. If you attack the set with Sorcerer, then you get to keep the Sorcerer. Otherwise, you put them to 1,000. If you have the third Shine Ball, if you have an Extender here, you just win. You does have to play around Gores a little bit, but it's not that much, you know. Wow, okay. just electing to do this. Huh. Indicate says, I will assume no main Dyna. Yeah, I suppose. But this is less damage than making Gachi Gachi. So I don't like this very much. I mean, there's not much to think about here. You just pop Sorcerer. It's the best card in play. Levier is good, don't get me wrong, but like, Sorcerer's the best card in play. The only concern is if you want to save life, in which case you would pop the Levier. It's worse than Sorcerer, but it is like, you know, more life points for you in the long run. Alright, that looks like what Jaina wants to do. She wants to save some life. Makes sense, makes sense. You're already kind of in the zone where like fucking Hyperion's gonna murder you, so. And Venus attacks. This kind of plays around Gores a little bit. Not really. Shine Ball's gonna make Gachi Gachi. See if he brings out the third Shine Ball or not. Looks like he will. Just get the dead card out of the deck. And just a pass. Jaina needs like a Dark Hole or something. I don't know. She just needs a lot to go right here for her to win. And the first thing it's got to be is Dark Hole. Okay, never mind. It's just set monster pass. It's really unfortunate. No trap cards the whole game. A lot of these slow man eaters. And then, yeah, there's BLS. That's game. BLS banish. Venus, Shine Ball, Gachi Gachi is not quite lethal on their own, but no matter what, you're going to have to drop cores before Sork attacks, and then Sork can just banish it. This could be an effect failure, but no. Looks like Indicate is going to take that game. Crazy. So the Chaos Monsters really clutched for Indicate, and Jaina's draw was really bad. She had a ton of monsters and was just setting monsters against an active Chaos Sorcerer and couldn't really do much. That's what happens when you bring the deck with 5 Gemini Elf to a fucking format where Blackluster Soldier is legal. You're fucking rocked by Blackluster Soldier. It's just the way it's going to go. Alias gets summoned, and no back row. You hate to see it. All of these games, very trap-light from Jaina. Not a lot of interaction. If you have vanilla monsters, like, they're not going to cut it the same way they do in Edison format. Like, the power level of this format is just too high. Double Alias, okay. Let's see what this does. Spirit Reaper from Indicate, that's big. That's big, because he's not taking any damage here. This is going to be Spark, sacrificing the other Alias, draw a card, and then Neos Alias attacks directly from 1900. This is going to allow Jaina to get in some damage, which I like. I actually do like. It also gives her a fresh draw towards finding a piece of interaction. Yeah, so Reaper would die after Spark is already resolved. That's why Jaina's able to draw. Okay, sets a back row. So it looks like she was able to find a back row, which is big. I mean, you need your trap cards. In this matchup, you need your trap cards. You're just going to fucking run over. If you don't have the trap cards, you just can't compete with the amount of inherent special summons they can do in one turn. Especially after they've resolved their Agent Venus creation thing. Here's Tour Guide. That's going to walk into a back row, maybe? Skill Drain. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. And Skill Drain is pretty big here for Jaina. It means Tragodia is no longer a threat. Wow, that's crazy. No monster. No monster, no trap cards. 5 cards, no monster, no trap cards. Huh. There's Heavy Storm, and here is the Agent of Creation Venus. Is there a max C? There's a Veiler. Makes sense. Veiler plus Skill Drain, a little awkward, but not too bad right now. Force the Heavy Storm. Force an awkward summon. Let's see what else Jaina's got in her bag of tricks. Probably another Veiler, if I'm going to be real. Kaiku would be insane here, actually. I think Kaiku's pretty good in this format in general because it fucks the other Chaos decks. Oh, little misclick. Miracle Fusion, going to make the Shining. That makes sense. 2900 the Shining. That's a pretty good thing to swing into this Venus, because if she does have Honest, well, okay. I actually dislike this attack sequencing. This plays worse into Gores, and it also plays worse into Honest. Fortunately for Jaina, Indicate has neither. I'm assuming he has a bunch of Shine Balls in hand, because that just sounds correct. And then one more back row from Jaina. Very good that she has a back row here. Otherwise, Hyperion could be a massive problem for her. There's Cyber Dragon. That's going to resolve. Indicud is thonking here. If he just attacks the Alias, then that means his hand is pretty weak. Looks like there's an Honest for game. Yep. And that ought to be that. Let's go ahead and go to the next game. Dang. Crazy stuff. Jaina just had the exact outs to play through. Indicate's pretty weak hand, I must say. Heavy Storm when your opponent only has one back row that they've already gotten value out of is pretty bad. I'm going to be real. Jaina having the right responses. Not much to say about that game other than the cards just lined up well. Set pass. Very, very weak start from Indicate. No Venus, no Tour Guide, no Agent of Mystery Earth. Out of 9 starters, didn't open any of them. Probably opened triple Shine Ball. I could see it. Thunder King is massive. Oh, Torrential Tribute. That counts as a starter. Kinda. Not really. But it's pretty good in this matchup. I think Torrential Tribute's pretty good. Oh, there's a Dust Shoot. Alright, well, if Indicate did just top deck a starter, this is going to take it away. Jaina's going to be very kind to put it in the chat. I'm going to take Thunder King. Hand is... Let's see. See what it is. Lance, Hyperion, Prison, MST, Mystical Shine Ball. That's a really bad hand. Holy shit. So fucking bad. Oh my god. Jaina's just setting more back row though. She's not really taking advantage of this weak start from Indicate. And Indicate has, he has a good amount of starters he could top deck. He has 9. Plus Thunder King, which is like 10, I guess. Not the worst draw. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. A lot of back and forth draw go after this Dust Shoot resolving. Both players kind of breaking like fucking crazy. God, this format is dog shit. Oh, man. Set a monster? That's got to be a Snowman Eater. There's nothing else you set here on an open board state. But it is good defense. Wow, a set monster from Indicate. Wonder if that's the Shine Ball. It probably is, because you don't want to end phase discard it. You'd rather have it in play, maybe to make a gotcha or something. If you're Indicate, you got to be really happy about all this. Because you got Dust Shooted, and then you got to draw 4 turns in a row, and your opponent just did nothing, so you got to be really happy. That's really, like, honestly, you got to be happy. Indicate big thonking here. Big thonking. Maybe he finally found a starter. Maybe he just found his 3rd Shine Ball. Who knows? Okay, there's a starter. Tour Guide's going to activate. Is there a solemn warning? Indicate making the right play, not blind typhooning. I think That's smart. Generally speaking, you want to force your opponent to warning with the agent deck with your starters. And then if they don't warning the starters, then your starters beat them. And if they do warning the starters, then your finishers OTK them. That's the general game plan with the agent deck. So not blind typhooning here is actually pretty good. If they have skill drain, they flip it, they pay 1,000. You get the value out of them losing life points, and then you can chain the typhoon to target it. So this is actually pretty big. Just gets Sangan and passes. Doesn't even attack into the Snowman Eater. Jaina breaking like crazy. Which is a little surreal. She has 3 duality. I'm assuming some number of E-Call, some number of Rhoda, Stratos, Alias kind of stuff. Future Fusion, of course. But this amount of dead cards is just really strange to me. There's another Hero Blast. I really don't like Hero Blast in this format that much. I think it's much less live than it is in the other formats. Yeah, I like it a lot less in this format. For various reasons. You need your back row to be active ASAP. You can't have like late game Hero Blasts. And late game Hero Blasts aren't even good because a lot of the time late game threats in this format specifically are Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, and Christia and Hyperion and Synchro monsters that have already resolved. Whereas in Edison format, late game Hero Blast is actually very good because oftentimes just popping like a fucking Treeborn Frog is good. Like just cutting your opponent off from having a tribute monster is good. Or like hitting a Debris Dragon or something. Here's that skill drain that we knew about. Let's see if Indicate has a second Typhoon or Lance. He might chain the Lance. Okay, so he does have the second Typhoon, yeah. That makes sense. You wouldn't blind Typhoon on the first one unless you had the second one. Jaina thinking about if she wants to Solemn, most likely. I think if you Solemn, you just die to the Hyperion, so... Chain Veiler, okay. That's not bad. Cut him off from finding the Venus. Not the worst. Honestly, if you're Indicate, you have the Lance. You might as well just summon the Hyperion here. And pop the back row and like actually start dealing some fucking damage. But what do I know? What do I know? It could still be a warning. It could still be a warning. Jaina's saving it for the inevitable whatever. Here's a Shine Ball. Big moves from Indicid. Normal summoning the second Shine Ball. Very powerful. 1,000 points direct. Going to make Gachi Gachi Gantetsu. And that's going to walk into Solemn Warning. That sucks. If you're Jaina, that's got to feel bad. Because you know the Hyperion's coming down next turn. And you're at 2,500 now. Honestly, if you're playing against agents in this format, you should strongly consider siding out your Solemn Warnings. They're very bad against agents. To the point where it's like, you're actually doing more harm than good having them in your deck. You should consider siding them out for something like Bottomless Trap Hole or Deep Prison or something that's going to banish the threats. Brings back Ryo, doesn't attack, needs to play safely around battle traps, but you know that the set card is not a battle trap because it was set when you knew the full hand information, and that's just going to be that. I mean, Cyber Dragon comes down, Jaina has to let this stick, Hyperion's going to come down, Jaina has to negate, and then any normal summon kills Jaina from this point. So that's going to be that. I believe that's going to be the whole match. Surprisingly, Indicid has made it back after all of this, after all of that hate he had to play through. Here's Tour Guide, and there's Max C. He should have summoned the Hyperion first, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, you just summon the Hyperion now, and then... No, what do you do? Don't give them more draws to gore. Jesus Christ, dude. You're just giving her more draws to gores. She most likely has gores. And more draws to honest, too. You just summon the Hyperion. You just Tour Guide into Tour Guide, summon the Hyperion, give them one draw. They have to negate with Thunder King. Then you attack directly for game with all your monsters. That's it. It is that simple. It is that simple. This was a horrible sequencing from Indicid. He can actually lose the game now. He could actually lose the game now. No, he can't, actually, because Leviathan Direct is game. But, no, Leviathan Direct isn't game if Jaina has Valor. Did she not have Valor? Did she not draw off the Hyperion? Maxi? Damn. Why didn't you set your back row? The fuck are you doing? How are you dying with back row in your hand? I guess she drew into those off of the max. I guess that makes sense. Damn. Yeah, this format's miserable. It's like you have Maxi and then they go for it and then it doesn't matter, or like you have it on the opening or you go for it and you have Maxi and it's like, I don't think Jaina played worse than Indikid. I don't think Indikid played better than Jaina. I just think that they played the cards they drew in the order they drew them, and the answers, they like feel so awkward in this game. They line up so awkwardly. It's like you have to play Skill Drain and Effect Veiler at the same time. You have to main deck MST and Forbidden Lance and Heavy Storm, but then you play against someone with no back row and then you brick. I don't understand it. You draw multiple Shine Balls because your deck has to play fucking 16 Garnets in order to function. I don't know. Not the most climactic or interesting or really, like, exciting grand finals. Congratulations to Indikid for winning the tournament. You know, Agents is a really good deck. It's a really solid deck. I just don't fully understand what people enjoy about this format quite yet. In any case, smash like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy this. Peace out.